This is going to break your brain. Ready? An African family produced the guy who founded Babylon. I'm not making this up. It's right there in Genesis 10. Cush, son of Ham, clearly associated with Ethiopia and Sudan, had a son named Nimrod, who went north and founded the cities that would dominate world history. It's like finding out the founder of Silicon Valley was actually from Antarctica. Except this actually happened, and archaeologists keep accidentally proving it. Genesis 10:8-12 in the Berean Standard Bible drops this genealogical bomb. Cush was the father of Nimrod, who became the first mighty warrior on the earth. He was a mighty hunter before the Lord. The beginning of his kingdom was Babel, Erech, Akkad, and Calneh in the land of Shinar. From that land he went to Assyria, where he built Nineveh. Let's unpack this insanity. First, let's talk about Cush itself, because these people were absolutely dominating. The Kingdom of Cush lasted over 3,000 years. Let that sink in. America is 248 years old. Cush lasted 12 times longer than America has existed. They built more pyramids than Egypt. Over 200 of them still stand in Sudan. They conquered Egypt and ruled it as the 25th dynasty. Egyptian records call them the Black Pharaohs. And they weren't being racist. They were acknowledging that these southern kings were restoring Egypt's glory. The Bible mentions Cushites over 50 times, and it's always with respect. Moses married a Cushite woman. And when Miriam criticized this interracial marriage, God gave Miriam leprosy, not Moses. That's God literally striking someone down for racism. The Ethiopian eunuch in Acts 8 was one of the first Gentile converts. Ebed-Melech the Cushite saved Jeremiah's life and got a personal promise of protection from God. These aren't cursed people. These are heroes of the faith. Now, about Nimrod, this guy wasn't just some hunter who got lucky. The phrase, mighty hunter before the Lord, in Hebrew implies divine acknowledgement. This was like being MVP in God's league. He founded 8 cities, including Babylon and Nineveh, cities that would shape world history for the next 2,000 years. Some scholars think Nimrod might be the historical figure behind Gilgamesh or Sargon of Akkad. The descriptions match up surprisingly well. Here's where it gets weird. Ancient Sumerian texts describe their early rulers as black-headed people. Their own artwork shows figures with what appear to be African features. They claim their civilization came from the south, from the direction of the Persian Gulf and ultimately Africa. Modern DNA studies show genetic markers indicating ancient population movement from Northeast Africa through Arabia into Mesopotamia. The Bible's claim of African-Mesopotamian connection isn't fantasy, it's preserved memory. You know what's funny? Secular historians can't figure out where the Sumerians came from. They just appeared with writing, laws, agriculture, and cities already developed. But if you take Genesis seriously, it makes sense. They came from the south, from Cush's territory, led by Nimrod. The Bible solved a mystery that's been bugging archaeologists for centuries. The Ethiopian Orthodox Church has traditions about this that will blow your mind. They claim to have the Ark of the Covenant. They say the Queen of Sheba had a son with Solomon, who brought it to Ethiopia. Can't prove it, but here's what we can prove. Ethiopia has been Christian since about 330 AD, making them one of the first Christian nations ever. They've maintained Jewish practices alongside Christianity. They have religious texts and gaze that preserve books mentioned in the Bible but lost everywhere else. The influence of Cush on world civilization is massive but ignored. The Greeks called Ethiopia the land of burnt faces and considered them the most beautiful people on earth. Homer mentions them in the Iliad as blameless and favored by the gods. Herodotus called them the tallest and most beautiful of all peoples. These aren't descriptions of a cursed lineage. Here's something modern. DNA studies of Ethiopian populations show ancient continuity with minimal outside mixture. They're one of the most genetically distinct populations on Earth. The Beta Israel, Ethiopian Jews, have maintained traditions for millennia. Some of their practices are more ancient than modern rabbinical Judaism. They're like a time capsule of ancient faith. But let's get practical. What does this mean for us? First, it destroys any biblical justification for racism. An African family produced world conquerors and empire builders. Second, it shows God uses unexpected people from unexpected places. Who would have thought Ethiopia would preserve Christianity when Europe went through the Dark Ages? Third, it proves the Bible preserves accurate historical memory that secular history is only now discovering. So next time someone tries to use the Bible to diminish Africa, remind them that Africans founded Babylon, conquered Egypt, preserved ancient Judaism, and adopted Christianity before Europe. Cush's legacy isn't a curse. It's a testament to God using all peoples for his purposes. And if God can use Cush to shape world history, he can use anyone. Stop limiting God based on geography or genealogy. He's bigger than your categories. Share your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks for watching.